TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Thank you for joining us on KGW Plus. I'm Tim Gordon. Rod Hill will join us in just a moment for a first look at your weather, but we start with this afternoon's top stories. Lawmakers in Salem heard from the public this morning about a bill that could shift responsibility if someone is injured while skiing. Senate Bill 1517 would release ski resort operators from liabilities for skiers over the age of 18. It would also require a parent or guardian to sign a waiver releasing the resort from liability for kids. However, the resorts argue there are too many carve-outs for certain injuries or circumstances, like if someone is injured due to poor equipment. The bill still needs to pass out of committee before heading to the House for a vote. TriMet has reduced some of its transit services to help close a $300 million budget gap. That means some bus routes will change while others will have new schedules. You can find a detailed list of TriMet service changes on kgw.com. A 3-day hearing got underway today on whether or not to extend a temporary order limiting the use of tear gas and other less lethal munitions at Portland's ICE building. It's part of a lawsuit brought by a group of protesters who argue the tactics federal agents used violated their First Amendment rights. The Justice Department argues the tactics were used to disperse violent protesters, which is not barred by the Constitution. Once arguments are made, a judge will decide whether to issue a longer-lasting preliminary injunction limiting the use of tear gas outside of the facility. Well, President Trump and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth today making the case for the U.S.-Israeli airstrikes against Iran, with Hegseth saying it will not be an endless war. The Iranian military retaliating with strikes against Israel and U.S. military bases across the region. NBC's Alice Barr has the details from Washington.
This morning, the Pentagon confirming 3 U.S. Air Force fighter jets crashed in Kuwait, mistakenly shot down by Kuwaiti air defenses during active combat under Iranian attacks. All 6 American crew members ejected and were recovered safely. It comes amid growing violence in the Middle East, with Israel and Iranian-backed Hezbollah fighters in Lebanon exchanging fire, following this weekend's U.S.-Israeli strikes on Iran. The administration speaking out today.
This was our last best chance to strike what we're doing right now and eliminate the intolerable threats posed by this sick and sinister regime.
This is not a so-called regime change war, but the regime sure did change, and the world is better off for it.
Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was killed in the Saturday strikes, and now 2 sources briefed on the matter tell NBC News the attacks were timed based on intelligence Khamenei would be at a meeting with senior leaders. As Iran strikes back, now 4 American service members are confirmed killed in action. U.S. officials tell NBC News they were part of an army unit based in Kuwait. 4 others were seriously wounded. President Trump mourning the losses while warning.
Sadly, there will likely be more.
The president told NBC News in a phone interview he decided to act because Iran was unwilling to say they would not have a nuclear weapon following weeks of negotiations. Lawmakers return to Washington tomorrow for the classified briefings many are demanding, largely split on party lines.
I think the president has started a war of choice.
The mothership of terrorism is sinking.
Across this country, Iranian Americans hoping for freedom while protesters fear a spreading conflict. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Meanwhile, authorities in Bellevue, just east of Seattle, are investigating reports that someone pulled a gun on people rallying in support of the airstrikes. Demonstrators say a car drove past the Bellevue Mall Saturday, and as it was about to turn right at the light, a man in the passenger seat pointed a gun at the crowd gathered there. A woman in the crowd took this video. In the beginning, you can see the man holding what looks like a gun, and a different video taken from another angle captures some of what the man said.
I don't want to make it a political thing, even though it might be in his head.
A handful of people filed a police report, and the Bellevue Police Department says it is currently investigating this as a brandishing incident. Well, this afternoon, we're also hearing reaction to the war from people here in Portland. Our Thomas Schultz has more on the conflicting feelings the military actions in the Middle East are bringing up.
Some protesters we spoke with called this war disturbing and say that it feels similar to past U.S. conflicts in the Middle East. Iranian media is reporting that dozens of people were killed in a strike at a girls' school. That has not been verified by NBC News. And some protesters say this all could have been avoided after the United States agreed to a nuclear deal back in 2015 that President Donald Trump withdrew from 3 years later.
We had a deal already, we backed out of it and manufactured a problem. I just don't see why this is helping anybody. It seems pretty obvious that it's a distraction.
Though Sunday, some local Iranian Americans celebrated what was happening and say these attacks are long overdue. They tell us they've waited close to 50 years for the Iranian regime to come to an end.
This is an incredible moment. For my entire life, I've never been to Iran. I've been afraid of possibly going there, being seen as an American spy, and having freedom for the country is just amazing.
We're just done with it. We're asking for this terrorist regime to leave us alone and allow us to simply make our own choices.
And as this war continues to grow in the Middle East, we're seeing reaction not just here in Portland, but all across the Pacific Northwest and all across the country too. In downtown Portland, Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
All right, switching gears now, here's a live look at the Dalles this afternoon. It's a beautiful shot out there. Parts of the region expected to hit 60 degrees today. Meteorologist Rod Hill has more about that, Rod.
Tim, you and I are like this because I'm showing the same camera. All right.
That's beautiful. Looks good twice.
That is Mount Hood. It is clear through the gorge up and down the Columbia at the noon hour today. 53 degrees, really no wind out in the gorge, so just absolutely lovely weather. Let's stick with the same river and we end up in Vancouver, of course, our Springs of the Waterfront camera. There's some people out on the beautiful pier there from the Springs at the waterfront, as I mentioned. It's 55 degrees. Salem lagging behind, but if you look at the imagery, the cloudiness is eroding around you, so I do believe you folks will be clearing out in the coming hour plus today as well. Right now, you're still 53. I mean, that's pretty nice. Portland on track to be up to the low 60s today. This shows we could have a big warm-up just this half hour, 61 at 2, 61 at 3 o'clock. We'll be dry into your evening hours. We will be clouding up overnight tonight. We'll have your complete forecast up shortly. Back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Rod. That Dalles camera gets some great views, doesn't it? Well, in an update, the chair of the Washington State Republican Party says the House Majority Leader, who admitted to being drunk during a legislative hearing last week, should be disciplined by the Speaker of the House. Democratic Representative Joe Fitzgibbon apologized, but Republican Representative Jim Walsh thinks more needs to be done.
This was an insult to the process. I mean, we all do things we regret. We tend not to do them in a committee meeting that was a critical one, highly watched and observed. So I think the Speaker does need to acknowledge with some form of discipline that this was bad.
Representative Fitzgibbon said showing up to a legislative hearing impaired was a, quote, painful and embarrassing lesson. Also in Washington, a cautionary tale is unfolding about AI not working as intended. The Washington Department of Licensing recently rolled out a new tool for Spanish-speaking callers, although it didn't appear to hit the market the way it was supposed to. Catherine Cook has that story.
It was just a moment out of Parks and Rec. It was crazy.
Only for Maya Edwards, the Washington Department of Licensing was the agency lost in translation. Last July, her husband called them and followed the AI-generated prompts.
He clicked Spanish and he was like, "You have got to hear what just happened when I clicked Spanish."
Here's what they heard.
Thank you for calling the Department of Licensing Customer Support Center.
English with a Spanish accent. Except the numbers. For some reason, those were in Spanish.
Your estimated wait time is less than 3 minutes.
You know, please press uno. What? It's crazy. It's crazy.
Maya did what any self-respecting millennial would do.
I reposted it on TikTok.
She also reported the problem to the DOL. But last week she discovered no one had fixed it. So she posted again.
It's now half in Spanish and half in English.
This time, her video went viral, and the agency got the message.
I don't know. I feel bad for the person who came in Monday at the DOL.
In a statement, the Washington Department of Licensing noted they had fixed the glitch and apologized for the error, calling it an unfortunate byproduct of expanding services.
Shout out to Washington for trying to be accessible. I really appreciate that.
A show of humanity in a moment that could use more humankind.
If we're going to use AI to cut costs or cut corners or whatever, have somebody real check it.
Yeah, gotta check it. Well, coming up on KGW Plus, make some reservations because Portland's Dining Month is back. We'll give you a sneak preview coming up next.
I'm Matthew Herchick, new morning anchor at KGW. I'm a huge sports fan, and I know I might be from the Buckeye State, but I'm excited to explore what the Rose City has to offer. I want to make sure you're prepared for the day, whether it's bringing you breaking news or sharing those inspirational stories that make you smile. We've got you covered. Because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to Portland's #1 streaming newscast, Sunrise, weekday mornings from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Hey, here's some good news. For the first time in 5 years, Portland Dining Month is back. For the entire month of March, restaurants across the area are offering 3-course meals at either $35 or $55. KGW's Christine Pitawanich has more on the event, highlighting the city's most famous food scene.
Yeah, so we are making mussel escabeche pasta with a little bit of crab butter.
Here at Pal's on Hayden Island, fresh seafood and fabulous views are always on the menu.
We get fantastic oysters from Hama Hama, and then we smoke them over oak, and that goes into our chowder.
We specialize in sustainable seafood, natural wine, great cocktails, but really what we're trying to do is have a fun environment that's by the water, a little bit easier to access, and super family friendly.
Pal's is one of the many restaurants participating in Portland Dining Month, back after a hiatus that started during the pandemic in 2020.
It's going to go for the entire month of March, and we have over 100 participating restaurants in the Portland area. They are each doing a 3-course meal for either $35 or $55, and some of them are doing both.
Shauna O'Connor, executive director of Portland Dining Month, says March is historically the slowest month of the year for restaurants.
So we need to come out and help them get through these tough months.
There's so many great restaurants down here in downtown.
Huber's Cafe, known as Portland's oldest restaurant,
We're looking at 116 years at this location.
is also participating in Portland Dining Month.
We're known for turkey, but we have other things that we like.
Other things that are equally as tasty that'll be on the Portland Dining Month menu, from fettuccine alfredo to limoncello tiramisu.
We hope people feel welcome. However their day was going before, they know that they're going to feel great by the time they're walking out of here.
Back at Powell's, staff are ready to welcome diners.
And we're really excited to sort of gather all these restaurants as a community and say to the folks that are in the suburbs or in Washington or a little bit further out, hey, come on back into Portland. It's really, really fun. The food is great. The drinks are great. We still punch above our weight as a city. And we're doing it at a price point that makes it, really value driven.
Portland is a destination food city. Like, we are doing such innovative and incredible things in the culinary world, and we're giving them an opportunity for the month of March to come out and experience that international award-winning level of dining for $35.
In Portland, Christine Pitawanich, KGW News.
All right, one of our cities lagging behind, you folks in Salem. By that I mean you are still cloudy, but I do feel pretty confident the clearing is coming. We're starting to see increasing sun throughout wine country, the Dundee Hills from Domaine Serene Winery. And there are all the folks out in the sun at the Oregon Zoo. Your complete forecast is coming up.
Hi, I'm Christine Pitawanich. I'm a journalist at KGW, and I love exploring Portland's amazing food scene. New spot? I'm there. So I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. What happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still, it moves. It moves you to act, to vote, to volunteer, to speak up, or to lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the good stuff that stays with you wherever you are. And at KGW, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Portland.
Here's Rod Hill with a full scoop on the weather, and it's kind of pretty nice out there.
This is not meant to be an insult, but you're kind of old like I am.
Yeah, kind of.
So you remember the old folklore saying, March comes in like a lamb, right?
Right, yeah.
It was 60 yesterday.
It's coming in
We're
like a lamb.
definitely going to hit 60 today.
Yeah.
But the flip side is that means it goes out with the roar of a lion, which means if the saying is correct, we would have an active final week of March. So we'll see if that pans out.
That might be a good thing by then. Yeah.
Thank you for being old like me. I appreciate it.
My pleasure, relatively speaking.
Here's a look at our satellite picture. A lot of younger people have lost track of the folklore weather sayings, I found.
I think that's true.
That we all grew up with.
Point.
Yeah, all right.
Keeping them alive.
Here's a look at, it's hard to tell in the infrared satellite picture. We have clouds at the coast, but we are clearing all the way down in the northern Marion County. So that's just knocking on the door of downtown Salem right now to get some clearing. The rain showers early this morning out between Burns, John Day, and Baker City have all cleared out. So increasing sun most areas. The coast, I'm not sure. You might stay cloudy. We are tracking a weather system that comes in tomorrow night. Now, it's going to start throwing clouds our way on this Monday overnight. Here we are at 1 a.m. We talked earlier in the show, we do have the total lunar eclipse. It starts about 1 o'clock. The totality of the moon slipping through the shadow cast by Earth is around 3:30 a.m. And that's about the time that the models really start bringing in thicker low cloud cover. So maybe we'll get to see part of the show, but probably not all of the show. Again, this is overnight. You have to be up between the hours of 1 and then it's all over by about 6 or 6:30. This does show solid cloud cover up and down I-5, returning low-level cloud cover at 6:30 in the morning. And while I don't think we get sun tomorrow, it looks pretty overcast. The rain chance will be mainly during the day, north coast and near to north of Portland up into Seattle. The main rain band comes in with the front overnight Tuesday, and then here are the showers that follow Wednesday, including some heavier scattered downpours. Weather models show this should be the biggest soak we have of this first week of March. Latest projections give Lincoln City and Tillamook 64/100ths of an inch, Portland 35/100ths, a little bit more than half of an inch out in Skamania. This will be the rain totals from mainly tomorrow night through the day on Wednesday. Okay, I mentioned the coast. I mean, it just looks solid, doesn't it? Starting to lose faith that you folks are going to clear out of it. Chinook Woods Casino Resort in Lincoln City, 56 degrees is the temperature there. Back to this, I love showing our Oregon Zoo camera up in the West Hills when it's a beautiful sunny day. And we have a lot of people out taking advantage. You can plainly see that. The temperature, look at this, good grief. 59 degrees right now at the Oregon Zoo. And here is the increasing sun out in Washington County from the Explore Tualatin Valley camera out over the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club in Aloha. That's 54 degrees. So we are warming, and here are the current numbers, including, it looks like Burns is one of the cooler spots at 45, and this shows your temperature at 4 this afternoon, 48. Looks like the rain chance is over for you folks, but still a lot of clouds. Here comes the sun increasing, though. Again, not sure about the coast. But Portland on track to get up to 62. Clouds tomorrow, mainly dry most of the day. The rain overnight into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, a little bit of light rain, and right now the upcoming weekend, the best chance rain looks to be overnight. All right, Mr. Gordon.
All right, Rod Hill, thanks very much for that, and we'll be right back.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
I'm Trina Green, a morning anchor at KGW and new dog mom to this sweet guy. Meet Barry. I love getting your mornings off to a great start, whether it's sharing stories of resilience and triumph in our community, or following breaking news from Beaverton to Gresham and everywhere in between. We've got you covered, because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to KGW Sunrise, weekday mornings from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
Well, it is time to talk sports, because the start of March means we are only a few weeks away from the official start of baseball season. Opening day for the Mariners at T-Mobile Park is March 26th against the Guardians. And that means a fan favorite event is returning just a day later. The first Mariners Bark at the Park is happening on Friday, March 27th. You can bring your furry friends to T-Mobile Park. There are a few rules you have to follow, though. All dogs must be at least 6 months old, no puppies, have visible ID tags, and must be on a leash at all times. You also need to make sure your pups have an up-to-date rabies vaccine, and all dogs must have tickets for the night's game as well. You can find more information on the MLB's website, and if you missed this Bark at the Park, don't worry, there are plenty more throughout the season. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
All right, now for the best kind of update. After being rescued from a Happy Valley retention pond, Sweetie has received a clean bill of health. That beautiful dog there was found cold, tired, and hurt in a water retention pond. But after a checkup and a spa treatment, she'll soon be up for adoption. Oh, what a sweetie she is. So
That's a bath, but spa treatment.
Yeah,
okay.
spa treatment. Let's go with
All
spa.
right.
Get the hot air on there. If you want to know where Sweetie is in the adoption process, call the number at the bottom of your screen if you're interested in that beautiful dog who got a second chance at life right there, Rod.
I think she felt better after the bath. I don't think she's overly enjoying the spa treatment.
Probably not. Better in the pond, though.
Yes, that's a good story. All right, we're beautiful outside. I do feel like if you have clouds and you're still watching us anywhere up and down I-5, you're going to lose them. Portland on track to be 62 big ones this afternoon. And then clouds tomorrow, rain tomorrow overnight into Wednesday. That's the wettest weather of the week. If you look to the upcoming weekend, best chance of rain right now looks to be overnight.
All right, first week of March right there. Thanks, Rod. Reminder, we've added more live news to KGW Plus. Check it out in the morning, 2 hours from 7 to 9, and later at 5:30. We'll see you soon.